Well, today's story is about hot weather hi-fi. It's hot. It is here in Brooklyn, at least, and it may be hot where you are. Yeah, it's the summertime. That's the way it goes. And so does your system sound too warm, too soggy, too heavy, too thick? It's been known to happen in this kind of weather. Yeah. And what are you going to do about it is the question. Well, we're gonna circle around that today, but I got some other business to talk about first. Well, somebody asked me the question. This is it keeps coming up over the years. Why aren't there more women interested in audio? The short answer to that question is I have no idea. I keep meeting women in audio, that's for sure, and I've done some videos about it, especially pre-COVID. I've interviewed a number of women on this channel. I've had women do videos for me on this channel. Oh, and then there's Jana. Jana's going to come back, I think. I did an interview with her just before COVID in 2019. Chances are good she's going to make a return appearance here. So that's good. But why aren't there, just in general, more women interested in audio? There's certainly just as many women interested in music as men, I'd say. It's probably pretty 50-50. But what about audio? I don't know. I've been thinking about this a long time. I don't have any great answers, but I'll tell you this. If you are a woman and you're watching, would you submit, I'm asking, would you submit a picture to the Audiophiliac viewer system of the day? And it's really easy to do. Just send it to this email address. I will put it up on the screen right now. Identify yourself as a woman. Most people give their name. That makes it pretty easy. But identify yourself as a woman. You will go to the head of the line. I'm going to give you preference right now. Women audiophiles will have preference if it's a nice picture. I'm not just going to post your picture because you're a woman. That's not going to work that way. You have to have a good picture, has to be an interesting system, and then I will more than likely post your picture. So for the time being, at least, women audiophiles will get preferential treatment here on the Audiophiliac Daily Show. And yes, there will be an Audiophiliac viewer system of the day posted later on in today's video. But back to the question at hand about hot weather audiophiles. What do you do about it? Well, before I was a reviewer, I used to have an amplifier, a Class D amplifier that didn't run hot, you know. So it was a Bel Canto. Actually, I was a reviewer then. But anyway, I've had other systems where the amplifier was a cool enough running amplifier. It wasn't an issue because I'm not into air conditioning. I've never in my life really used air conditioning. So I needed an amplifier that wasn't particularly hot, and I've found various ones over the year. But the Bel Canto was a Ref 500, a stereo Ref 500. That was like sort of my mainstay for many years. More recently, I was using a Mytek Brooklyn amplifier that was Class D, really nice sounding, as Class D goes. But you know, the thing is, yeah. Now, by the way, I use the Zen, the Deckware Zen Triode. It's a tube amplifier, but just a 2-watt amplifier. And though it runs warm, it's so small that its heat generation is minimal. So I've used that in actually last summer, and made no difference in the temperature of the room. So I kind of recommend very, very low power tube amplifiers if you go that way, and if you have speakers that are compatible with very low power tube amplifiers, and you like tube amplifiers. So finding the right amp that doesn't put out a lot of heat in the summertime is one straight ahead path to dealing with the heat, that your system isn't generating more heat to deal with. That's the point, because the heat is the heat. Now, of course, most normal human beings, which would not include me, use air conditioning to deal with the heat. Yeah, of course, that's an option. But of course, the air conditioning raises the ambient noise level of your room over what it would be without air conditioning. So that could be an issue. And I've had people tell me who've had systems with large amplifiers, solid state or tubes, that amazingly enough, sometimes the air conditioner can't keep up with the heat output of their system, so it actually doesn't cool the room, in their opinion, enough. So they need bigger air conditioners. And then the bigger air conditioner makes more noise. And then, of course, you run into the whole thing of the power line, your AC noise on the power line itself, some from the air conditioning, but also just from more crap in power lines in the summertime. So your system tends to not sound as good in the summertime as it does the rest of the year, because there's just more crap, seems to be, on power lines in the summertime. I was just talking to somebody recently about, he got a power regenerator, a PS Audio power regenerator, and he's happy as a clam. He is, I don't know what that expression really means, but he is happy as a clam with his regenerator. He said it made it day and night. His words were a day and night difference in the sound of his system. I've had a PS Audio regenerator maybe a couple of years ago in for review. It really didn't do anything here, but that's the point of these sort of devices, is they work for some people and they don't do a thing for other people. But in this case, for this guy, the regenerator really made a huge difference, and he's very, very happy. He's bought a few more because he has a couple of systems. So he's bought more of them, and he's very, very happy with what he's getting from PS Audio regenerators and also power conditioners. So there you go. But in any case, summertime listening is can be a challenge. Of course, drinking cool liquids. My preferred is actually just cold brew iced tea. And I use my special Audiophiliac Daily Show cup, which I would say does enhance the listening experience to some degree. You can buy it right here on the Audiophiliac Daily Show page. Just scroll down a bit and you'll see they are for sale. I've never actually done a plug like this before, so pardon the plug. But anyway, I'm going to drink a little bit right now. Excuse me for 1 sec. Very tasty. Of course, you may have other options in terms of cool beverages, and I encourage you to choose the beverage of your choice. Of course, as always, I want to hear your how you navigate this course of what electronics do you use in the summertime that don't heat up the room too much? What do you do to keep cool? Keep your cool in the summertime. Of course, some people do the opposite in the wintertime. They use Class A amplifiers, very warm, hot-running Class A amplifiers in the wintertime to keep warm, to heat up the room. I've known more than a few audiophiles that are in that category. Or, tube amplifiers with rows and rows of tubes that you feel the heat radiating from those tubes, and just gets nice and toasty when you're in their proximity. So it just fills up, and yeah, that's nice. Instead of a fireplace, you just have the soft glow of those 6550s or KT88s or whatever, just filling your room. Okay, so now it is time for the Audiophiliac viewer system of the day. Wait a minute. So this one is a vintage system, and it's from Mehmet. He is in Istanbul, Turkey, and it was bought by his father in 1974 when Mehmet was 10 years old. These Acoustic Research AR5 speakers are paired with a Pioneer SX950 receiver and a Pioneer PL510 turntable. Mehmet changed the cartridge to an Ortofon 2M Red. He still plays his dad's records from those years, as well as records he bought in the 80s when he was studying in Los Angeles. He now also plays Roon in conjunction with a Topping D10 DAC connected to the system, and he says it sounds very neutral. This system also plays acoustic music and classical really well. Thanks, Mehmet. Okay, we're back. And now we do the outro. My name is Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. If you like what I'm doing here, well, you've gotten this far. You must like it a little bit. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing to this channel. To do so, well, it's easy. All you gotta do is hit the freaking button. Yeah, right down there. Hit that button. And while you're hitting things, hit the little bell to be notified every time there is an amazing new episode. And then, well, you should do what the hip people do. They check out the Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/audiophiliac. And there is a link for your cruising pleasure. There is a link to that in the description directly below this video. Now, I have playlists for many, many things, and I used to point to them, and I realized that a lot of people can't see it. So I'm going to just put up a slide right now to show you on the main page where the playlists can be found. But one of the interviews that I did a few years ago was with a guy named Blackie Pagano. I talked to him just yesterday. Blackie's such a cool guy. He fixes, guitar amplifiers and all kinds of electronics, but also home audio. He's based here in New York City, and he's got this great little shop. Oh, watch this video. It is beyond amazing. And he's talking about cool. He is the king of cool. He's got tattoos. He's got great stories to tell. It was a fun episode to shoot. So anyway, I will figure out how to get you directly to that episode. Well, maybe I will. I'll point to it up there, and hopefully you will get there. Anyway, yeah, so we have playlists for speaker reviews and headphone reviews and electronics reviews, plus music reviews and lots of other stuff here on the channel. And now I can say my work here is at last complete. So thank you again for watching, and I really do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.